just so quiet, so abrupt. Come on in. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good. It's Friday.
Good morning.
Best day of the week, right? Well, we're just making sure there's no people out there, and then we're going to dive right in. So you've got a packet in front of you, and that's going to be key as we move forward. If anybody was missing a packet, don't worry, we'll get you sorted. We had a couple mix-ups with who's online, who's not online. So that's what's happening there. But yeah, so let's get started. So I'm Jessica Benalis. I'm the Assistant Director in the Office of Study Abroad. And I'm here with
Abby Phillips.
And so we're going to be helping you along the way. We also have Katarina. Just totally blanked out. Katarina down here, who's our program coordinator, and she's going to be online. We've got a lot of online students joining us via Teams this morning, so they're there, and she's going to help us with that. But we three are the ones who really assist you through this pre-departure process, and hopefully we'll get you started with your adventure abroad coming up this January. So in the room, I think majority of people in the room today are Winter in London folks, and you guys are taking a variety of courses. So anybody outside of Winter in London in the room right now? No, okay, everybody's Winter in London. Okay, great. We have another session happening this afternoon, and we've got some other of our January intersessions programs that are going to be in attendance. So just checking to make sure who's in the room. So let's get started and talk about what we got going on. So in your packet, one, you'll see a label on the front, and that's going to tell you some things that you indicated within your study abroad application. If anything there looks incorrect, we need to talk about it because that's the information we have and we're moving forward with. And then throughout the packet, we also have things that we'll be covering throughout the presentation. And so every course on this program is a little bit different with some of the logistics. So that packet's really telling you the information you need. When we're kind of talking general up here, your packet will tell you specifically. So just keep that in mind.
Take a look specifically at the course that we have you scheduled for. That is on the label. So if you signed up for undergrad, but you are needing grad because you're going to start grad school in the spring, whatever that is, just make sure that is accurate. And then specifically your flight as well, which both of these things we'll talk about in more depth, but those are the two things on your label that we are especially wanting you to take note of.
Yes. Right. So what's our checklist here?
Yep. So as all of you know, you had to apply for our program at studyabroad.usm.edu. This has now turned into your pre-departure portal. So we have a whole new checklist of items for you guys to take care of, and they will have various deadlines over the next month and a half. All of this are things that we need from you guys to make sure that we check all the boxes for your time abroad. There are some specific deadlines that we want to take note of. One is your roommate request. So as most of you know, for the majority of you guys, you will be staying with a roommate in the hotel that we have in London. So if you have a request of who you would like that roommate to be, please put that here by this deadline. If you do not have a roommate request, totally fine. We default you with someone of the same gender in your course if it works out that way. Now, not all the courses have even numbers, so we'll
do our best.
Yeah. The other one is going to be your passport copy. We need this so we can book your group flight. So to actually get your name on a ticket, we need the exact name that will be on your passport. If you do not have your passport yet, totally fine. Put the name that you used when you applied for your passport. Usually the big question here is, did you put your middle initial or your middle name? Do you have a middle name? What does that look like for you? But that's what we specifically need because your ticket has to match your passport. Otherwise, they won't let you on the plane. So that is why we are asking for this. And then these assessments will be coming, and this is just information from our office of good things that you guys may want to know. Do you tip in London? How to be a not obnoxious American? How to pack for 2 weeks when it's cold? Those type things. So things that are just going to help you in your preparation as you get ready to go out.
So another important thing that you have to complete prior to our departure is a physician's release. In your packet, we went ahead and included one for you. What this is you going to see either your primary care physician, if you're someone like, I don't have one or they're too far away, then you can go here to Moffitt on campus, okay? And so what we're doing is just gathering some history on your health and anything we need to be aware of in the event something happens to you while we're in London. Okay, this is not to deter you from going or anything like that. It's just to help us in the event something were to happen and you can't speak for yourself. We need to know if you're allergic to something or what have you, right? So that's what this form is. So it's very important. Please get this turned into us by October 31. Okay, so the end of the month, get that in. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns, but it's pretty straightforward. And in the packet, there's instructions on how you can book at Moffitt and the exact kind of steps to book for this specific physician release because they're very familiar with it. And we have many students go through them. And even at the end of today, if any of you want to go ahead and get this off your to-do list, we're happy to get you scheduled in with Moffitt, and we can even drive you over on a golf cart if you need assistance with that. So we'll check more about that later, but just want to pinpoint that here.
So I know everybody is starting that whole advisement for the spring process right now. And the question is always, how do I get into the class that I've signed up for? Do not worry about that. Our office takes care of it for you. You won't be locked out or anything. Just know that neither you nor your advisor need to do anything to get you into this class. Our office will enroll you. That's why we wanted to verify the course that we have you scheduled for. And we should get that done for you by November 1st. So it's a little bit of a process to enroll 100 students in various classes. So it's coming. I promise you don't have to do anything to actually enroll yourself in the class.
All right. Okay, so but before we can actually enroll you in your course, you cannot have any holds on SOAR. And the biggest one we run into is the block all enrollment. So you've got to sign off on your financial aid agreement. So we've listed the steps here for you within the presentation. So later, if you need to go check, make sure your to-do list is taken care of on SOAR. These are the steps you need to follow. If this isn't done, we cannot enroll you. So just go ahead and get it sorted for us. So we have a smooth process into that enrollment. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll be happy to assist. Okay. The next thing is flights. So this is where things can get a little complicated. In your packet, you have a flight itinerary, and it's based on what class you're in. So we can only get so many people on one flight. It's, you know, we're taking over the planes at this point. So majority of you have asked to stay on the group flight. If you requested otherwise, I have reached out to you via email, and hopefully you have responded to me by now. If not, please do so ASAP. Otherwise, if you're doing the group flight, this is the easiest option for you, because we take care of all of it for you. We just need to know your official passport name, as Abby said, and then you've got to make your way to the New Orleans airport, and you're going to have to get picked up back in New Orleans when it's time to come home. That's the only things you have to worry about. We'll do everything else for you, okay? So you can see what your flight looks like. Everyone's leaving out of New Orleans, but there are 2 different flight options. So just be aware of that. If your friend's in a different class, they could be on the other flight. So just note that. But the good thing is you basically arrive into London about the same time. So all good and golden there. If you have any questions about flights, we're going to have time after the session to talk about that one-on-one if we need to, okay?
Yeah, and those I just it's not gonna have your flight in there, but we can get you that itinerary after the meeting.
Yep. We've got extras over here. All right. Moving right along to phones. So phones, you have got to have data and cellular connectivity while you're in London, okay? One, you want connectivity because you're going to want to be on social media, sharing all the cool things you're doing, right? But also maybe getting in touch with folks back home. But then you also have to be able to get in touch with us, again, in the event there's an emergency or maybe you just need some assistance while you're out and about. So you have got to have a phone. So in your packet, there is basically a little follow along list on how you can have a phone abroad. One way is to talk to your current phone provider. So AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, etc., right? What is their international plan? Go and talk to them. Find out what it is. How much is it a day? Most of them will have a daily rate. It can add up after 2+ weeks, right? So just be aware of that and budget for that. The other option, the most affordable option, is going to be getting an international SIM card that you can use while in London. These range to about, I think you can get an unlimited card for £35. I don't even think you would need full unlimited for the 2 weeks. You could probably do the 20 gigs one worth and be good. But £35 is about $50, and that's for the whole time. Whereas your T-Mobile or your Verizon may cost you upwards of $100-something, okay? So just be aware of that. In order to make the international SIM card work, you have to have an unlocked phone. That is key. Oh man, did you hear that feedback?
That important.
It's that important. So be aware of that. How is my phone unlocked? How do I know that? One, you can just ask your current provider. If you are paying for your phone right now every month to buy that phone, then your provider has that phone locked because it's theirs until you pay it off, right? If your phone is paid off, then you're able to go into your settings and your phone and you can find if your phone is unlocked. And if you have an iPhone, I'm happy to assist you with that. I have experience with iPhones, so happy to share that with you. But your provider is able to get into there and let you know if that's unlocked or not. This is so important. So please do your homework and getting this sorted sooner rather than later, okay? Because time and time again, we have students who show up on the program, think their phone's unlocked. We buy the SIM, we do everything, we put it in, and then they're like, just kidding, your phone's not unlocked. And then we have a whole thing we have to go through, okay? So please be proactive in this and get it sorted ahead of time. And again, if you have any questions, happy to help. But, you know, your provider really is going to be the one to be able to answer these questions for you.
A good option here is if you have an old iPhone specifically, so not the one you're currently using, but one that is not currently tied to any provider, that should be unlocked because it's free. Not tied to any provider right now. So if you have an old one, you can pop an international SIM in that way. This past summer we had a student who her grandfather had like an old iPhone like 8 or something, and she actually brought that over this summer and was able to pop that in because it's not tied to a provider. So that is also an option.
Absolutely, yes. All right. Next, we have the withdrawal policy. So things we don't want to talk about. We want all of you to be in London with us this January, but there's always life that comes up. Things change and things happen, right? So again, in your packet, you'll have a reminder of what your withdrawal policy is. You all signed this when you applied to the program, but we're just dropping a little reminder because the closer we get to departure day, the more you're going to get hit with penalties. And it's not us trying to be mean. We're starting to spend money on your behalf. We're booking these flights. We're booking your hotel. We're booking all the fun, amazing things you're going to be doing while you're in London. And so this is just how we recoup the money we've already spent on your behalf. Okay. Again, we realize life happens, things change. But hopefully this won't be an issue. You'll all be with us in London because that's what we want. But just putting that out there as a little reminder, there is a withdrawal policy.
So as much as we would all like to say, just come to London with us for free, unfortunately, we can't do that. This should look familiar to all of you. It's the cost sheet for the Winter in London program. So this is just a reminder of the upcoming charges that you guys will be hitting your store account. So this is an example of the Winter in London cost sheet. If you are in a different course, especially those folks online, this may look a little different for you. So we're just trying to do this in a general setting. But if you are a full-time student this next spring, then we will not be charging you additional tuition. Since you're a full-time student, that fee is one fee, right? Yay. But then if you are on that group flight and these program fees, those are going to be the additional charges that you will see hit your store account. So this is a reminder that these are billable items. We'll talk about that more here in a second. But then down at the bottom, we've got the non-billable items. This is a reminder you have to have money on site, right? So yes, you've got breakfast included as part of your program fee, but for lunch, for dinner, for any souvenirs you're wanting to buy, any show you want to go see outside of class, all of that is extra money that's out of pocket. But this is just an estimate. Please know that this can be done cheaper. It can be done more expensively. It is completely dependent upon you and your spending habits. But this is on-site money. This is what we will be charging to your store account. To take a closer look at what that will look like, here's an example of charges that you may see on your store account. So per usual, you'll see your tuition fees. You may see a housing fee. You'll see the intercession fee because this is an intercession course. You'll see the Eagle Direct charge. All of these charges should look familiar to you because they should be every semester. The additional things will be your program fee and your group flight. So these should be the only new parts here. When you are looking at your store account, you will see your outstanding balance. Business Services wants you to look at that outstanding balance, subtract your pending financial aid, your anticipated aid, that remaining balance. It is what Business Services will have either expect you to pay in full by January 10th, which you'll be in London by then, so you need to prepare in advance, but either pay in full or have a payment plan set up directly with Business Services set up before you leave for London. Okay. Does that all make sense? At least for the most part, right? Yeah, okay. So this should all look very similar to what you're used to. Alicia in the back.
From financial aid, shout out.
Yeah.
Over $500 before you allowed to enroll in that payment plan.
Okay, so for those online, if you didn't hear that, in order to enroll into a payment plan, you have to have a balance of at least $500 on your account showing here. Okay. Yeah.
Alicia, can you just pop down here?
Don't worry, we're about to call on you anyway. So yes, we've got Alicia Clark here from the Office of Financial Aid, who we adore, and it helps all of our students. Yes, she loves us so much. We have some friendly banter that we do. So anticipated aid. Alicia, can you talk to students about what that may include?
Okay, so you have anticipated aid, and that can be in different types of aid, and you might look at it differently because everybody thinks of aid differently. A lot of people look at their financial aid as only being like grants or scholarships, but you also have to look at aid being as far as loans, because when you talk to us about your financial aid and what type of aid you have, we're not just going to talk to you about, hey, this is what your scholarships are, this is what you're going to apply for. We're going to talk to you about grant, scholarship, as well as loans. So we see financial aid different from how some other people might do financial aid. So you have federal financial aid, that's going to be your FAFSA, so that's going to be like Pell Grant. That's going to be like the Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant. That's also going to consist of Federal Work Study too. That's all going to come from federal, as well as student loans, and that's going to be subsidized, unsubsidized, as well as Parent Plus loans. All that's gonna be your federal financial aid. Federal financial aid, you have to have a minimum of, for if you're getting student loans, you have to have a minimum of 6 hours as an undergraduate student to receive student loans. Pell Grant, however, is different. Your Pell Grant will be prorated based on the number of credit hours that you're taking. So we are gonna assume that you will be full-time. If you are not full-time, then we have to prorate your Pell Grant down based on the number of credits that you have. And also with Pell Grant, depending on what courses that you're taking during the semester, if you are enrolled in second session classes, we are not able to pay that Pell Grant money for those second session classes until after those second session class last data added drop. So you might see on your account that you have Pell Grant. It might not look that you have the full amount. If you enroll in session 2 classes, you should get a communication from us, or you should have to do item inside your SOAR account that will let you know, hey, we are unable to disperse any of your Pell Grant if you have session 2 classes. We have to wait to that last data add drop for session 2 before we can release Pell Grant funds. But we will go in and we would have it still listed. It will be say anticipated financial aid. So if you see some that might say anticipated aid, that could be because we've had to reduce your Pell Grant based on your second session classes. So if you have any questions regarding Pell Grant, and if you're in session 2 classes, just let us know because we have to treat that differently. But as far as work study, SEOG, you are still required to be 12 hours to receive those funds. Pell Grant will prorate. State aid. So you have, and that's based on the state of Mississippi. If you're a Mississippi resident, you are able to apply for a state aid. You apply for FAFSA, you apply for state aid every academic school year. So right now, as of October 1st, the FAFSA for the next year, 26-27, is currently available. So if you're going to be here next year, go ahead and get a jump start and go ahead and start working on that information. So you don't have to worry about later on. As well as that state application that's available starting October 1st too. So they are both out there. You should have to do items inside your SOAR account that we are giving reminders to let you know, hey, this information is ready for you to go ahead and do. Just knock it out and get it out of the way now. The state aid is going to be MESG, HELP, and MTAC. All that comes from the state of Mississippi. They do have requirements. You have to be enrolled in 12 hours. That is a change from prior year. Now you only have to be enrolled in 12 hours to receive that state aid. You can only receive one state program at a time. So you cannot stack MTAG and MESG together. You cannot stack MESG and HELP. They would only give you one of the programs that you're eligible for, and it's typically going to be the one that has the higher dollar amount that you would receive. You also have to keep in mind that as far as, let's say, if your hours, let's say last spring, let's say this current fall semester, you drop below those 12 hours, and you're currently receiving state aid right now, just know that when we send enrollment information of what you completed for the fall semester, if you were not 12 hours this fall, you're at risk of losing your state aid for this spring semester. So keep that in mind. It's very important that you are enrolled in the credits that you're registered for and you're meeting those GPA requirements as well. Let's see, institutional aid. So there's some students that receive scholarships, Lucky Day, honor scholarships. All this aid that you have, you can use any of it for your study abroad program. What typically happens is, since you're going on a trip, we get budget information from the study abroad office, and we are able to go in and increase your budget for some of those items that you have. And if for some reason we had to reduce any of the aid that you had because you were already at your cost of attendance, once we go in and increase your budget, we can typically go in and increase some of those scholarships that we had previously reduced at the beginning of the year to allow that you could receive those to use on your trip as well. Loans. Nobody likes loans, but we have to talk about it because sometimes the loans are the other options that are available. You have subsidized, you have unsubsidized Stafford loans. The difference between the two is going to be the subsidized Stafford loan. The government pays interest on that while you are in school. The unsubsidized Stafford loan, that's going to start accruing interest the moment that those funds are dispersed to your account. So if you're offered both of them and you want to say, I don't need both of them, what should I do? Which should I pick? The better of the two is always going to be subsidized Stafford loan. Let's say you already have scholarships. Let's say you already have Pell Grant money. and let's say you still have a balance owed. You have loans as well. Outside of that, if you've already exhausted all of that aid and you're a dependent student, only other options you're gonna have to help with funding is gonna be, your parent can apply for what's called a Parent Plus loan. And that is a credit-based type of loan that your parent is applying for to help you with educational expenses. If they are approved for that loan, they can request a certain amount. We get the information and we're gonna award you what we can to keep you within your cost of attendance. If they are denied that loan, we'll still receive the information that they did apply, but they were denied. And based on that denial, we can then go in and offer you an additional unsubsidized SAFRA loan. That's gonna be one of those loans that we typically don't like, but that is a loan that you can still use to help with your educational expenses. The only other option outside of grants, scholarships, loan, Parent Plus loan, there is those outside loans that we call alternative loans. Those are the loans that the students can apply for. They are credit-based. So if the students are applying for those outside loans, they do not have credit, might not have enough credit. In order to be approved for those loans, those loan lenders would ask for the students to use a co-borrow for that. But we have different lenders available on our financial aid website that gives you information, and you can kind of compare the different lenders. If it comes to that you need additional aid and you've exhausted everything else, that would be one of those last resorts.
Can you clarify one thing for us? We do have some grad students in here, so you don't have to get like in deep with it, but how many hours do they have to be enrolled in to qualify for
Grad students, they typically are gonna get unsubsidized SAFRA loans, and majority of the time it's gonna be 4 hours. The reason why I say the majority of the time, because they could be enrolled in classes, probably not your classes, but they could be enrolled in those classes that are considered full-time.
Yeah.
That we kind of look at differently, but grad students, 4 hours, you have to have a minimum of 4 hours.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Alicia. We appreciate you. Another nice thing that Alicia and her colleague has offered is if anybody wants to sit down with her following this meeting, we've got some time slots available that you can book and have a one-on-one session with them and make sure everything looks good on your account for your what's anticipated to come up, so that you don't run into financial questions or concerns once we hit, the deadline. So please take advantage of that. After this session, we'll pop up a QR code where you can book in, and there we have like 20 slots for the hour following this meeting. So that's coming up. And then the other thing I'll mention, you'll see here, we put study abroad scholarships bonus money. So I know we had a lot of students apply for the Gilman Scholarship this cycle, which is incredible, super exciting. But a lot of these study abroad scholarships, you don't find out that you're going to receive them until, say, December, right? And at that point, you are locked into the program. It's 30 days out, right? So you want that money to be like the icing on the cake, right? Extra money that's going to assist you while you're on site and things like that. So we don't want you relying on that money in order to be able to go on the program, because if you don't get it, then what's going to happen? You withdraw, and then you're going to get hit with all these withdrawal fees. So just be aware of that. I want to just put that out there. So you can be thinking about that. And again, please take advantage of meeting with financial aid after this session to have those questions answered. And then the GO system is now open, so you can apply for monies within the GO system. There's a question that asks, are you planning to study abroad? Make sure that says yes, because that puts you into our pool of scholarship opportunities there. Okay, so just want to throw that out.
Yeah, so that's the spot for financial aid right upstairs. So you guys can do that. That's coming. But also, if you don't have time today to meet with them, or if you're online, there is a little flip in your packet that has their contact information. We love financial aid, but we can also be very confusing for financial aid. So I would recommend starting with Alicia with an email and let her kind of direct you from there, because study abroad, we're special a lot of times. So that information is there for you to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder as to what those payment deadlines are that you should be expecting coming up is listed here for you. So December 10th about is when you're going to receive your first invoice from Business Services for the spring semester, and that will reflect your study abroad fees on there as well, okay? And then again, that deadline for balance due for spring, all of spring, including January intersession, is January 10th, okay? So again, yes, realize that you're already going to be on the program, so you need to have yourself sorted. Another thing I think we have noted in the next slide, so I'll pop to that. Can't remember where we put it. So spending money abroad, right? You're going to need to be able to have some money to spend on site. I just want to make sure you're aware of refund disbursement comes after the January intersession. So you have got to have another plan in place in order to have money while you're abroad, because of the way this program falls during the semester. Those disbursements don't come until following.
Yeah.
Can I ask
So
a
in
quick
order to
question,
spend money
please?
I won't get too deep into this, but everybody going to London has moved towards a cashless system. So it is going to be very difficult to find a place to use cash. So what that means, you need to have a card that they will accept that you can use to pay over there. So here are just a couple of takeaways with this. Tapping, whether it's on your watch, your phone, or your card, that is widely acceptable. A lot of times when you're at a restaurant, they will bring the little machine with you or to the table with you, and then you'll just tap there at the table. But there are some things that you need to keep in mind about the card that you are using. One, it is preferred to have either a Visa or a MasterCard. Those are the two most widely accepted cards, specifically in London, but pretty much in Europe in general. If for whatever reason, if we've got somebody in Belize that's either in here or online, just know different information is going to be coming to you. But for Europe in general, Visa, MasterCard are the most widely accepted. American Express and Discover are trying to make their way in. It is just not as widely accepted. So to stay safe, Visa or MasterCard. Be sure that you know the fees that are associated with your card. So a lot of times there are going to be foreign transaction fees, especially associated with a debit card. Those foreign transaction fees will add up super quickly because they happen on every charge. So even if you were going down to the Tesco to get a soda and you spend £2.50, you're getting hit with a 2 or 3% international exchange like foreign transaction fee there. So that happens on everything. So that is why we recommend you bringing a credit card. Those two can have fees associated with them, but there are a lot of credit cards out there that do not have foreign transaction fees. There's one I'm going to specifically mention because we've had students in the past have real good success with this, and it's the Capital One Venture Student Card. It has low interest rates. It has no foreign transaction fees. Pretty sure it's a Visa card, so it's meeting all of those things. It also has budget tools to help you with your budgeting plan as well. So that is one that we always mention, but regardless, just know the fees that are associated with your specific card. And then cash, like I said, you won't need it, but if for whatever reason you, especially in case of emergency or whatever, feel safe having a little bit of cash on you, we recommend going to an ATM in London. They're everywhere, super easy. Then you'll get hit with one fee, but you do not need to be carrying around 100 pounds with you. There is, for safety reasons, you don't want to do that. So any questions on that?
And we're going to fall into questions next. If anybody has any questions for the greater good, if not, we are going to have some time for us to chat more one-on-one. I know we have a question online, so we can get to that in just a second as well. But otherwise, we hope that you'll take this information, really dive into it, and know that everything we're telling you now is so you can prep yourself before departure, right? We are going to have a pre-departure meeting that will come in December, December 5th specifically, and that's where we'll get into more of the nitty-gritty of what does departure day look like? What does arrival look like? Those details. This is all to get you prepped. So you've got some homework to complete. Start doing that research on the phones, on credit cards, things like that. So
Another meeting I want to.
Yeah.
We also have a Flight 101 coming up December
no,
9th,
November.
November. Oh God.
You said December. Uh-huh.
Oh goodness. November. In November, because we have at least 20% of our students have never stepped foot on a plane, and I would say 70% have never flown internationally. And we want to make sure you are confident if you start this journey. So this is an optional meeting, but we start from packing to what's it like to enter an airport, what's it like on the plane, going through customs, all of that as well. So that is coming in November. You will receive an invitation to that here in the next couple of weeks.
Yes. Question? Yes.
Yes, I know the UK now requires an electronic travel authorization,
Yeah.
so do we need to complete that?
So we will do that on December 5th. The goal, and we'll prep everybody for that, but we'll go through it step by step to get that taken care of. So that is the electronic traveler authorization for entering the United Kingdom. It's about $25. We'll all have to do it. So we'll do that step by step on December 5th. So know that's coming. Question? Yes. I would say going through the Go system is going to be probably your best bet at this point. Yeah, you're welcome. So if anybody would like to meet with financial aid right now, and make sure you've got all your ducks in a row, you can scan this QR code and book a time slot. Like we said, there's like 20 options for the next hour. So get that booked in, and our wonderful financial aid colleagues will meet with you. We've got space for them, for you all upstairs to do that. So everybody get a quick shot of that who wants it. I'm going to move to the next slide. Okay. And then anybody who wants to go to Moffitt right now, you can book an appointment via the QR code in your packet. And if you want a ride over on the golf cart, we'll be happy to take you. Yes, question. It's $20, I think.
Yeah, it's usually just regular copay. It's like $20 and it gets charged to your student account.
So up to you if you want to do that. We're just offering options for everybody. We're trying to help you guys get this to-do list done. And then if we have folks who need to talk about flight, stay here. We'll be here to answer those questions.
And if you have any changes to your label on your packet, come talk to us afterwards so we can make those changes.
And then if you need any help with things on SOAR, also stay here and we'll help with that. Otherwise, feel free, if you're wanting to leave and be done with us for the day, feel free to go. And then if you want financial aid, who wants to talk to financial aid? A couple? Okay.
So you guys are filling out the form? Okay.
Okay, perfect. So financial aid, follow Lindsay. Follow Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay,
Can I ask my question now?
Alicia and her colleague will be in mine and Katarina's office. So when they get up there.
Trying to get this pulled.
Okay. Let me tell Alicia one thing really quick.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions I can help with?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question if I could, please.
Okay, what's up?
I was just wondering, I signed up in the GO system for that I will be studying abroad. I'm a graduate student, and I was wondering when will we find out if we have been awarded the study abroad help?
It probably won't be till closer to December. Bye. So once we get past,
appreciate it.
okay, yeah, great. Victoria, I see a question here. Or your hands up. Feel free to unmute. Yeah, go for it. Can't hear you. Victoria, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Getting you sorted in the chat, maybe. You can hear me? Okay. Your mic's not working? Okay, drop your question in if you have another question that I can help you with. And then Allie, I see your hands raised.
Yeah, so I'm in California, and so am I okay to book my flight myself now, or I have to wait for someone to get in contact with me?
No, so what we wanted to do, I'm guessing you're LIS or higher ed, one of the two.
I'm in the undergrad LIS, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we basically, I don't know if in the attachment showed you both group flights. So we just want you to know what time we're arriving into London Heathrow Airport. So then as long as you arrive within our group arrival window, you're able to ride the shuttle with us from the airport to the hotel. So that's why we ask you to hold off so we can try to meet up and get you to the hotel with everybody.
Okay, so I shouldn't book my flight yet.
No, you can. Did you get those itineraries, like group example
I did
itineraries?
not know. I
Okay.
haven't gotten any of that.
Okay, so I think we try to drop them in the chat. But we'll send out something to get that to everyone. Let's see.
Yeah, just because I want to know what time I should arrive by.
You want to arrive by noon on the 2nd. So you're going to leave on the 1st, arrive into London on the 2nd. You want to get there before noon.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, and Heathrow Airport, right?
Heathrow, yeah, LHR.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's see. Alexis, I see your hand
You
up.
do not have to do it. It's just a student.
And but we have to do electronic authorization with you.
Oh, try again?
Yeah, and we'll walk you through.
It's kind of muffled. If you want to drop it in the chat, feel free.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
So, I already booked my flight because my husband and I are going to be staying the week before the program starts in London. I'm also coming from California, so I didn't get the itinerary, and I was confused on the packet in the chat because it didn't look like the chat just like a PDF. It looked just like the slides. Was that supposed to be the packet?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so you said something about the packet. Sorry, I'm trying to piece together.
Yeah. So was the packet in the chat supposed to just be the slides that you guys are reviewing? Because that's all I saw.
That's all you saw? Okay. Our goal was to get you the flight itineraries and the presentation. But it sounds like maybe the flight itineraries didn't get attached. But I see that Cameron has dropped one of them in. That's the Delta flight. And then we also have a British Air flight. But again, they're arriving between 10:40 and 11:40 that morning on the 2nd. So as long as you get in that time range, we'll be able to pick you up from the airport.
Oh, okay. Well, do I send you my flight itinerary would that make it easier?
Yes, we will ask everyone for their itinerary just so we have record of that. And if you're planning to arrive early, 'cause I think you just said that. I'm sorry, there's so much noise happening here. It's hard to focus. So if anybody's traveling early for a holiday or whatever, we're going to ask that you be at the hotel, which we'll give you information on later. Be at the hotel on January 2nd by 2 p.m.
Okay.
If you're arriving into London Heathrow on the 2nd, we ask that you get there from 10:40 to noonish, and then our airport shuttle can pick you up.
Okay. And
So
you'll send
hopefully
us
that's clear.
information soon, probably.
Yeah, we're going to write it all out and send that your way. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see. Alexis, are you done? Are you good? Okay. Samantha?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
I was just gonna ask. I just saw the the flight for Delta, and so we would have to go to New Orleans and then like get on the plane there. I'm just making sure.
No. So these flights are just to tell you what the group is flying on. You don't have to do these. LIS, Library Science, and Higher Ed do not have group flights. You are booking your own flight. We wanted to give you an example of when our groups are arriving into London Heathrow Airport. So that's why we're sharing those itineraries so you can book your own flight to come in at the same time so we can pick you up from the airport. Hopefully, does that help?
Yeah, so
We're gonna
so
send all this in an email. We just haven't gotten there yet.
okay, so I would book my own flight then.
Yes, if you're in library science or higher ed, you will book your own flight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Monica, do you have another question or is your hand just still checked off?
No, I have a question.
Okay.
I was wondering if we want to plan to stay late, to stay further than the Saturday, since Monday's a holiday, just so I want to take advantage of that and maybe stay a couple of extra days, but we don't know the hotel information yet. So is there going to be a way for us to reach out directly to the hotel, or can we let you know so that when you guys reach out to the hotel, you like mark off our names with a highlighter and have them reach out or something
So
along those lines?
you'll need to book that independently. The thing is, we're staying in 2 hotels. They're literally share a wall, but we're staying in 2 hotels, and we can't allocate those just yet because we have to get through the roommate request and everything. So we just need a little bit more time in order to share that information, but it is coming.
Okay, because my other thing that I was thinking is if you tell us roughly where, I could always just get a hotel down the street. Just because if I wait longer, they're going to be more expensive. So
we're in Suffolk area. We're right by the Suffolk tube stop, and that's spelled Southwark, Southwark, but it's pronounced Suffolk. And we're right there by that
the tube station. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That helps me. Thank you so much.
Great. You're welcome. Any other questions? I don't see any other hands. Did I miss something? Let's see.
So if you want to Windsor Castle, that should be part of it. Got it.
Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
Got it.
Okay, so the physician's release is in your study abroad portal. We were just providing it to folks here hard copy today, but you have access to it in your study abroad portal. Pull it up, print it out, take it to the doctor with you. So that is in your portal, studyabroad.usm.edu. Okay, well, I'll check if it's not showing up. I'll make sure some glitch didn't happen. But you should be able to find it there. If not, just give me a couple days to check. LISHEPR. Okay, so I'll double check that the PR is showing in your portal. If not, it'll be there in a couple days. Okay, Alexis, you got a question?
Hi, yes. Sorry, can you hear me? My mic is not very well this morning. If we marked on our application for an individual hotel room, is that something that's going to be guaranteed, or are we going to, I'm just wondering about that.
And your LIS?
Oh, no, I go to San Jose State, so I'm an outside student.
What program are you
I'm
taking?
doing the Graduate LIS archives.
Yeah, library science, yeah. We only had one student request a single room from what I recall. And so yes, we're gonna be able to do that. So I'm guessing that's you. I can't remember exactly, but if you marked that, then yes, you'll be in a single room.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Alyssa, you got another one?
Yeah, I have another question. Just because like I'm trying to like see how much money I should be like taking with me. So for the duration of like the winter session, like so do we have weekends free where we can like see other sites without the class, or are we like not allowed to do that?
So you will get your schedule. I'm sorry, are you LIS?
I am.
Okay. Oh, there's so many courses doing this one program, but everybody's different. So you'll have 2 days off, but they may not be back to back. It's all going to depend on the schedule. I can tell you one day that you will definitely have off because everybody's going to have 1 day off together. And then your second day will come whenever your professor schedules it. So we're working on all those schedules right now. So that first day off that everybody will get is going to be Friday, January 9th.
Okay.
Okay. And again, all this information is going to come to you guys. We're working on it all.
Okay. I thought maybe everything that was like school required was like Monday to Friday and then like weekends.
No,
but
because
weekends we also have tours. Okay.
Yeah, because this is a January intercession. You guys are earning 3 credits in like 15 days. It is it's hardcore.
Okay.
But you're doing really cool, awesome things, right? You're not sitting in a classroom. You are going on excursions and visits and meeting professionals and getting tours of archives and museum curators and things like that. So you're doing really fun, cool stuff. But yeah, you're going for sure. And again, all that's going to come from your professors, and we are working on scheduling all of that right now.
Okay. And then, so we won't get information till December?
It will be closer to December. You'll get an idea again, like that date I just gave you, and then your faculty will let you know what that second day is. But it's all a puzzle piece because we have to work with so many people on site to get this amazing course sorted for you guys. So it depends on availability and things like that.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it is there.
All right. Let's see. Monica?
Oh, yeah, I just, I know that Victoria said her mic was broken, but her question is that she was told that her flights would be arranged for her because she's out of state LIS undergraduate.
Okay, so library science does not include a group flight. You can review the website. There is no flight included in this program for this course specifically. However, if we can provide those group flights with you to you, and you can book on that flight if you would like. Otherwise, you can book your own itinerary. If you're out of state, you probably don't want to come all the way to New Orleans to fly out. You can fly out wherever's nearby. Hopefully that's helpful, Victoria. And again, if you guys want to meet one-on-one with us, you can book an appointment and we can actually sit, talk, and answer more of these questions in a more dedicated time and space. We're happy to do that. But again, we're going to be providing you guys with all the information you need. Today is just the kickoff to that, okay? So no follow-up is coming very soon. Where do we book an appointment? On the website. So Katarina, can you drop that in the chat for us? Book an appointment. Yeah, so Katarina will drop that in.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes, please.
Would it be helpful if we set up like a group me chat for all the LIS students, since we're all gonna be
it's coming
everywhere else? Because it just seems like all the questions are ours.
Yeah. Well, it's because you guys
we're
are
all kind of on the same boat. Yeah.
Y'all just give us a little bit of time. Okay. The deadline just passed. So we're getting all the ducks in the row. We have over 100 students going to London this January. So we are going to have group meetings. We're going to all this information. Your faculty is going to be reaching out to you very soon with more information. Again, today is just the kickoff to all of that. So I promise it's coming. And then if you feel uncomfortable or uncertain about any information we've provided, you can book an individual meeting with us and we can go over it more in detail. But I promise you, we're going to get it all sorted and get you all ready to get ready for the program. All right. Any other questions? And Katarina has dropped that appointment link in there, so feel free to click on that and book an appointment. You can do either a GPS with Abby, or if you do, mine is under the independent program. Either one is fine. If you're looking for me or Abby, who will be on site with you in London. Thanks so much, Olivia. Bye. All right. Okay, so again, we'll be in touch soon with more details, clarify any of the stuff on flights and all. We'll get it all sorted, okay? Thank you all for joining today, and we'll talk soon.
Oh, Jessica, before
Yes.
the meeting ends, I'm currently looking at the portal for the study abroad, and it has the to-do list to fill out the USM non-degree application.
Okay, yep.
On that application, it's asking what campus I'll be on, but it only has Gulf Park or Hattiesburg, and it only offers spring and fall. It doesn't have like a winter or study abroad option.
Just pick spring, Hattiesburg. It's fine. Because
Okay.
we're going to be in touch with them, so they'll know you're doing study abroad. That's okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Also, are we gonna get a copy of the stuff that went on in the chat, like all the answers to the questions? I feel like I didn't write them all down, and I might want some of those questions.
I'm trying to see what the questions are. If we send out the recording, I think the transcript attaches to that, so we can send out at least the recording, so you can get it that way. But again, if it doesn't, you don't find the answers to the questions you're looking for, you can always ask us again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. Anything else before I end the meeting? All right, well, thank you all for coming, and we'll be in touch very soon, okay?